Alright guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how to do a melting text animation, as you can see right here displayed on my screen. So if you are new to my channel, kindly hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so, and share this video to those who feel you're gonna need it. So as usual, you go to your IDE. We are programming with three programming languages today: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let us start. Stay tuned, watch to the end as you are enlightened on how to create a melting text animation. So let's give it a title. Now that we successfully given it a title, let us start with our programming proper. Alright, so the first thing we are going to do is to design this SVG that you can see over here. That's the first thing we are going to do, to design this SVG that you can see over here. This is an SVG dropping down. So let us write our code for that. Stay tuned, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Thank you very much as we learn. I gave it a filter ID of GOO to give it a going effect, a going filter effect. That is why I gave it a filter ID of GOO. I did not just write a random text over there. That's what I'm trying to say. So now I'm very sure we are all familiar with it. The reason why I put slash then the right angle bracket is because I do not want it to have the closing tag. On the norms it should have been this way, me imputing the closing tag of this, but I do not want to use the closing tag. That was why I integrated the closing tag right here using this / then this. Alright, sorry, the result, it should give me a going effect result. You give me a going effect result, then let us close it. But if you don't want to do it this way, then it's fine, you can impute the closing tag this way. If you don't want to go with this method of imputing your closing tag, you can do it the normal way. It will still give you the same result. Alright, so let's keep going. Let us add the blending effect now. So here is the code for the blending effect. We'll give it a source graphics. Then let us set the inches to be 2, and let us give it the inches also a going effect also, and let us close our tag. So alright, so now once we are done, let us now close our filter tag. Let us now close our filter tag. Alright, so are we following? Let us now close our filter tag. Now the reason why I have to close my filter tag here this way without me closing it in this place is because there is something going in between the opening tag and the closing tag of the filter. Now I have to close it this way without me necessarily putting it, using the closing tag of like the normal method that we have, because there is nothing necessarily going in between the opening tag and the closing tag of Fig Gaussian blur. So also there's nothing going between the opening tag and the closing tag of Fig color matrix. So when programming and you feel you want to use an element and you don't want to put anything in between it, you just want to put attribute inside the opening tag, so you can just impute your closing tag this way as long as there's nothing going in between the opening tag and the closing tag. As you can see right here, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. There's something in between, that's why I couldn't close it this way. But if you can see right here, this is an opening tag. As usual, there should be a closing tag beside it, but because nothing is necessarily going in between the opening tag and the closing tag, that's why I imputed the closing tag this way. So I just have to bring this clarity to avoid confusion when we are trying this on our own, and just to avoid confusion when other persons are trying something on their programming and they are following my own method of programming. Okay, so now let's continue. I have successfully imputed this effect. Now let us now add the text effect there. Now to add the text effect, we are going to use the main element. We are going to use the main element to add the text effect. You can use a div if you want to use a div, but I am going with the main element. The most important thing is just for you to know how to go about with your styling. So if you want to use a div, is fine. It is not a must for you to go with my own method. Sorry about that. Alright, so the text is melting. Let's check our work. So here it is. Alright, so now let us move on with our what? Styling. Let us move on with our styling. So just like I explained in the last video, that there are several ways of styling your CSS. If you like, you can create a new CSS file, or fine, if you want to do it that way, fine. But for the sake of time, I'll use the internal styling, imputing my styling inside my HTML file. So if whether you create an external styling file is fine, you use an internal styling file is fine, you still arrive at the same result. Alright, so let us start the styling. Follow carefully, please. I'm trying to recall a special shade of black. I think it's F15. Let us see, did it work? Okay, no, let's try F14. F14, alright. Yeah, F14, this is what I'm looking for. Alright, so this should give me a cyan blue, if I'm correct, a cyan blue. Okay, this is not a color combination. Let me try. That is a mix up here. Okay, let's try 606. Okay, yeah, exactly what I'm looking for. So now let us continue. I'm sure we are all familiar with the gradient. We have linear gradient, we have conical gradient, so we also have radial gradient to give your background a color mixture at a radial angle, let me say at a circular angle. So instead of you having a color mixture on a straight line like you are used to with your linear gradient, you are going to have a color mixture in a circular form. Alright, so that's the work of radial gradient. Then we close this here. So let us mix the color font, and of course we are mixing the color fonts because should in case one color font doesn't display on someone else's browser, the next color font is going to suit into the position and display. So that's the advantage of having several color fonts. It's very advantageous. Okay, so I think this is going to be the last Helvetica. This is going to be the last color font I'm going to apply in this. Now let us begin to style our text. Remember, we name our main class, we give our main a class of our stage, as well I'm using stage. Yeah, okay, so let's have that at the back of our mind. So let us check what we've been doing so far. Yeah, you can see it here. You can see it here. This is what we've been doing so far. So let us continue from where we stop. Now we are done styling the main class. Let us style the text itself. So I give the text a class of what, drip text. As I can see, I'm calling out drip text right there. So let us give it margin of 0. Line height, let us give it a line height of 0.7. oh no, let's try I gave it a minimum width of 90 vertical width here. Let's try 0.9. if it doesn't suit well, so we are going to come back and change this to suit well. So font weight is, let's go with now 900. Letter spacing, to space the letter properly. So letter spacing, let's go with 0. I don't want to use 1 because 1 is going to be too much. Let's go with 0.2 rem. So this is letter spacing, it should be m. 0.2 m. So the next one is font size. Let's see, add one more text shadow effect to it. Let's see 0.01 or 0.02. Let's see 0.01 or 0.02. Let's see. Let's use 0.01. So yeah, now see that it's picking form gradually. So let's continue. It's picking form gradually. It's looking like what we are designing. Okay, now we have successfully styled the melting text. Now let us style this div called melt bond. So let us call our div out melt bond. That's the name of the div we're about to style. So I'll give it a position of absolute so as for it to be fixed. Okay, so let us give it a left